or on 2.4 filament drying mode. So I got the bed fans on 100% and the bed heater at 110. The silver one is a fresh ASA. Red needs to be dried because of rainy days, and I'm just throwing green in there as well because there's enough space. So if you don't have a filament dryer, maybe consider using your printer with an enclosure. And I got an empty spool at the bottom because these spools tend to warp at the temperature of the bed, and I don't want the spool to warp with filament on it. So it's like a standoff, because the air temperature only gets slightly above 60. Extrusion multiplier tests. At like 50 cubic millimeters per second. Front is 100% and the O is decreased by 2%. .25mm layer height. Extrusion temperature at 300 Celsius. 3DJ ASA Silver. Spool with no drying at 300 Celsius with extreme bubbling, micro bubbling on the top. And the bottom after drying without bubbles. There's some occasional ones, but overall it's really clean. Also same G-code 300 Celsius. This is how the spool came out of the package, even with desiccant. And this was dried overnight in my ball. New experiment, 80 cubic millimeters per second, requested in the slicer. Hot end at 315 Celsius. Volcano CHT.4 Nozzle. Rapido 1. Ultra high flow. Rapido Plus. And the filament was dried, I can see some bubbles. But we'll see how it is at higher flow rates. Right now it's going really slow for this temperature. I think the extrusion actually looks fine. Now that it's going through faster, it's not getting as hot. There's some bubbles, but I think it's acceptable. I think for this speed it actually looks fine. The next test will be printing functional parts at these speeds. There are some extrusion breakups. Really turns the screw. I mean, it's working. It's not looking great, but it's not like completely under extruding. I want to see how the top surface goes and if it's supported well, or if it like crumbles immediately. So far we have not shifted any layers or anything like that. Take one last look at the infill. I really like how you can watch the part grow. Honestly, for these flow rates it actually looks quite good. Like it isn't totally under extruded. Ta-da! think we can go ahead and print like an actual mechanical part now. This was requested in the slicing, mainly on the infill. 0.2mm layer height, 40% cubic infill. And it has some bubbles, but it's not nearly as bad as earlier. It actually looks shiny and feels more or less smooth. Walls definitely have some bubbles. This part definitely feels solid. Maybe not the brim.